good evening. Welcome to the permanent home of the Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking. Where innovators, disruptors, and change makers are going to come together to start something big. I am Carrie Damon, the Executive Director of the Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking, and it's my great pleasure and honor to kick off tonight's program and welcome you all to our new space. Before we begin, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Please take a moment to take in this beautiful, new, modern, amazing space. We are so happy to call this home. How exciting that right here, generations of our UCalgary innovation community will have a place to come together, build enterprises, solve difficult problems, and unleash their creativity in ways that will drive positive change and fuel the economy in Calgary, Canada, and the world. Entrepreneurial thinking is as much a learned skill set as it is a mindset of possibility and of trying new things. Entrepreneurial thinkers lead by example and show us the potential available to each one of us to create something with impact. Entrepreneurial thinking is a key part of Calgary's DNA. The University of Calgary is committed to serving the needs of this dynamic community of innovators. In 2017, a historic $40 million donation from the Hunter family took us further on this journey and propelled us to expand our innovation ecosystem as Canada's most entrepreneurial university. In the first 5 years of the Hunter Hub, much has been accomplished. In fact, we've really focused on our 3 pillars and building a solid foundation of programming. Our 3 pillars are cultivating and supporting change makers through entrepreneurial programming across all faculties, connecting and building community, of which this beautiful space will be a huge part, and amplifying our changemaker stories and impact to inspire the next generation. And so to kick things off, we are going to hear from some innovators themselves. I am so proud to showcase to you today 3 of the tremendous innovations that are having game-changing real-life impact coming from the University of Calgary. All started right here, working with the University of Calgary, with the Hunter Hub and other innovation partner organizations. To kick us off, I'd like to start first with Karen Benzies, the founder of Liminality Innovations, Inc., and the winning pitch from the Tennant I2C 2021 Entrepreneurship Program. Welcome, Karen.
Thanks, Carrie. Good evening. Way back there. I'm Karen Benzies, a serial social innovator trained as a nurse and a scientist. My expertise in design of interventions for complex ecosystems shaped our company, Liminality Innovations, and our flagship product, Merge. This is Olivia. She was born preterm and weighs 1 kilo. She's too immature to survive without neonatal intensive care. Picture Olivia arriving in the neonatal intensive care unit, or NICU. Her transport incubator is surrounded by nurses and doctors. Her father follows at a distance. He's in shock, and he doesn't know if his tiny daughter will survive. He looks to the nurses and doctors for answers, but they're too busy providing life-saving care to realize he's standing there terrified and alone. How many of you have had this kind of an experience? Each year, 1 in 10 babies is born preterm. Globally, that means 15 million babies, and that number is increasing. With increasing preterm birth, NICUs do not have enough beds and staff. Hospitals exceed budgets. What if all nurses and doctors could make space for terrified parents of critically ill babies? What if babies could go home sooner and prevent costs? Our flagship product, Merge, can do that. Merge is a healthcare provider performance improvement product that educates nurses and doctors to open up space in a fast-paced NICU so that parents can merge with the healthcare team in caring for their baby. Remember Olivia's father arriving in the NICU? When they took Olivia home, her mother said, "We started off with the nurses providing all her care. 3 weeks later, we were doing it all." How did that happen? With Merge training for nurses and doctors, parents become partners in care. Our training has 3 components. With relational communications, nurses and doctors learn how to integrate parents into the care team. With parent education, they learn how to educate stressed and anxious parents. With parent support, they learn to provide psychosocial support and connect families to peer mentors. These interactive learning modules are offered online. Our standardized implementation processes make it easy for hospitals to adopt Merge, and regular audits increase sustainability. Merge is a clinical trial validated solution. With Merge, mothers and fathers are less stressed and more confident. Babies are discharged 2.5 days sooner. With earlier discharge, families and the health system avoid costs. Our minimum viable product was validated in 14 NICUs in the toughest healthcare market in Canada, Alberta Health Services. Merge has trained over 2,000 neonatal care providers and helped over 15,000 preterm babies and their families. Given cost savings, in August, Alberta Health Services provided ongoing funding to sustain Merge in Alberta. Now we are working with provinces across Canada who want to adopt Merge for their critically ill babies. Across Canada, Merge will have a significant social impact. We expect that Merge practices will become requirements for national hospital accreditation. With cost savings, health systems will be able to reinvest in new initiatives to improve outcomes. Merge caring practices will be extended to support the well-being of healthcare providers to reduce occupational stress and burnout. And in 10 years, NICUs will be considered spaces for supervised parenting of critically ill babies. Please partner with us to support mothers and fathers of critically ill babies like Olivia.
Thank you so much. I'm always moved by your tremendous pitch. It's so moving, Karen. Thank you, Karen. And up next, we have Megan Leslie, founder of Nanotest and winner of the Rehab I2C competition that the Hunter Hub did, which was a pan-Alberta competition. So we were very excited to have a UCalgary startup win.
My name is Megan Leslie, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nanotest. And as Carrie mentioned, we're a Calgary-based startup focused with a vision to minimize suffering through nanotechnology innovation. So what does that mean? As a nanotechnology company, we're a material science company, similar to 3M, but our focus is in that nanomaterial space. So when you think about, okay, now what does that mean? If you looked at coal and a diamond, they're both made out of carbon, but the way they're structured is very different. That's similar to what we do at Nanotest. We take natural and plentiful ingredients that your body can naturally process, and we change their structures in order to provide new value. But as a startup, you have to start somewhere. So we're starting with the problem of healing chronic wounds. As a subset, diabetic foot ulcers is one type of chronic wound. It's a massive problem. The reality is every 20 seconds, someone in the world will lose a limb because of these wounds. And from those who undergo amputation, nearly 70% will pass away within the next 5 years. So this mortality rate is second only to lung cancer, so above any other form of cancer. Our solution, NanoSalve, contains our nanomaterial NanoCare, and it's suspended within a gel form. What this product can do is it's been designed to enable the facilitation of natural wound healing to occur. It also provides a broad-spectrum antimicrobial effect for infection protection, and its design has been done so in a way that it seamlessly integrates into existing standard of care. From a competitive standpoint, wound care falls within a spectrum. There's infection-focused products and healing-focused products. So there's silver dressings, iodine dressings on the infection. Healing is more stem cells and other rehab therapeutics. What we do is we really fall in the middle, so a dual solution between healing and infection. And we also view amputations and surgical interventions as competitors, because that's where we got our start. Our technology was used as a treatment of last resort for individuals prescribed for amputation. The next image may be graphic. If it bothers you, please close your eyes. But the best way to demonstrate our technology is to see it. So this is a patient with a stage 4 pressure injury. This patient had everything stacked against them in their healing journey. They were diabetic, obese, diagnosed with SARS-CoV-2, intubated, and woke up with the stage 4 pressure ulcer. They were also a low-income individual who could not afford standard of care. So the first 2 photos are day 30 to 40 of their care, and this patient had a small reduction in their wound closure, and it cost them $240 with the leading silver dressings. When our technology was applied, it reduced the wound significantly at a fraction of the cost. The patient continued with our care regime. They closed their wound in approximately half the amount of time typical for this stage of wound, and most importantly, they were walking and returning to their source of income within a month. From an antimicrobial perspective, our technology is demonstrated to be broad spectrum, so it's worked and been effective on over 48 pathogens tested to date, including bacteria, fungi, yeast, and even viruses like SARS-CoV-2. Some of those are listed here. 31 of these microbes were tested because they're antimicrobial resistant. So if there was an FBI watch list for pathogens, these guys are on it, and it can eliminate every single one of them. So then you ask, if you're as tough as bleach, what's your safety like? So we're also as gentle as water. On our safety testing as a medical device, we undergone all the tests, and we're within the lowest range of the acceptable ranges. So we're proving that we actually outperform those infection dressings like silver and inidine, which are designed to be short-lasting antimicrobials. They're not designed with materials that your body can actually process. They're foreign, and therefore they're toxic to your cells. Our team consists of myself, my co-founder Julian in the room today, and our technology developer, who brings 35 years of experience and actually won the UNESCO World Academy of Science Award for her research in this area. We're also surrounded by a team of incredible advisors, both on the business, the clinical, and just medical device commercialization, because people have done this before, so we want to leverage their expertise to support us in this journey. Most importantly to us, we're a social enterprise, and what that means is we're a for-profit company, but we have missions and visions around doing social good. So we put that to the test really early on and engaged the Institute for Health Economics to do an economic model. And they took our preliminary data, and they found we had the potential to save Alberta Health Services nearly $60 million in 5 years with our technology. This still justified a price point for our product around $144 per tube. We're moving quickly. So Nanotest is only 2 years old. We're a pandemic startup. We have, in that time, completed a project with the Department of National Defense, validating our data in Canadian and US laboratories. We've graduated from Creative Destruction Labs Rockies in 2021, who helped oversubscribe our pre-seed financing round. We have also set up our pilot manufacturing within Calgary, so everything we make at Nanotest is end-to-end done here, so support local. We also got that certified with the ISO for medical device manufacturing. And most recently, and excitedly, we are now approved by Health Canada as a medical device class 2 for both prescribed and over-the-counter claims. And what I want to leave you with is if this presentation was 5 minutes long, our team is motivated about saving lives because statistically, 15 individuals will have lost a limb, and 9 of them will have passed away within the next 5 years. Thank you.
Megan mentioned that that was her second time pitching live, so she has built an incredible company during the pandemic, and you do just great live. Thank you so much. And lastly, the most recent Tenon I2C winner, please welcome Logan Scory, the founder of AgGene Inc.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to be here, and I have to say this is a very lovely building. My name is Logan Scory. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AgGene. At AgGene, we are focused on developing innovative technology to increase the protein content in some of our most important crops. From a young age, I've been very passionate about agriculture. I had the opportunity to grow up on a 7,000-acre farming operation with my parents and uncle. And this really motivated me to further explore a career in agriculture, and I'm very proud to say that I just finished my PhD at the University of Calgary, which focused on plant biotechnology. So this is my grassroots really have helped facilitate my introduction into entrepreneurship. Families, farms across Canada, Alberta, the globe, are playing an important role in feeding 10 billion people. We have a number of challenges at hand. We have global conflict in Ukraine, rising food prices and inflation, and people are starting to pay very close attention to their food and the challenges that threaten quality and production of food. And so one of the challenges that we do have on the horizon is global protein scarcity. So by the year 2050, the demand for protein is expected to double. And this is quite alarming considering we have things like climate change, we have environmental impact of animal husbandry, and lastly, we have a growing population that needs to eat and they prefer to eat protein. So we need to start thinking about potential solutions. And the problem that we're addressing is how can we increase protein content of plants in a sustainable yet economical manner? And at AgGene, this is really what we're focused on. We're focusing on optimizing plants to produce more protein. And so during my PhD studies, I was able to develop a technology using gene editing, and we are able to make very fine changes to the blueprint of important crop species. And when we make these changes, we are actually increasing the protein content in seeds and plant tissue. So this is a very scalable and exciting technology. When we take a closer look at the benefits of our technology, the first is gene editing is being classified as non-GMO. So there'll be less regulatory burdens, which means bringing crops and new technology to market much faster. The second, our technology is able to be deployed quite rapidly into plants, under 12 months. And lastly, our technology is currently going into a number of different crop species, which include soybean, rice, and canola. In terms of our business, we're primarily focused on the pulse protein industry. So right now in Canada, this is about a $4 billion industry, and we're seeing a lot of investment into protein fractionation plants. So really we're working with protein fractionators and seed companies to help build high protein crop varieties that can be leveraged for isolating protein for human consumption, as well as developing high protein lines that can be leveraged for livestock feed. In terms of our revenue streams, it's quite simple. We have two primary revenue streams. The first is licensing our technology to larger seed companies like the Bayer and BASFs of the world. The second is to actually collaborate and work with small, medium enterprises across the globe who have the seed varieties, but they need help developing high protein crops. So we're really excited to have both of these revenue streams in motion right now. And most importantly, we have a fantastic founding team. For those of you in the room, you may be familiar with Dr. Marcus Samuel. He's my PhD supervisor and one of our founders at AgGene. We have Sarah Foster from 2020 Seed Labs, who is a seasoned seed industry professional. And lastly, we have a fellow farmer, Rick Rutherford, who farms 6,000 acres and is really instrumental in the seed industry in Canada. So I'm really excited about the team that we've built. And lastly, the main reason why we're here, I would like to honor this opportunity to speak, the Hunter family, the Hunter Hub, University of Calgary, for really promoting and providing an environment to facilitate entrepreneurship. We were very fortunate to win the $100,000 tenant prize, and this is really helping us scale our business and developing high protein crops. So with that, I would like to say thank you, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Logan. Hearing from these inspiring innovators, Karen, Megan, and Logan, one can't help but wonder what other innovations and impactful ideas will be created right here, either in this space or at the University of Calgary at large. Tonight, we're opening this beautiful new home thanks to the bold vision of the Hunter family and our university leadership. Let's go back to learn about the genesis of this really unique Innovation Hub idea. 10 years ago, I believe there was a conversation with the Hunters and the Dean of the Haskayne School of Business, Jim DeWald, on how entrepreneurial thinking could be embedded in the Haskayne School of Business.
That actually evolved to the Hunter Center at the Haskayne School of Business with the phenomenal generosity of the Hunter family.
We wanted to expand that throughout the university. The idea was to create an independent entity on its own, and that was the Hunter Hub. Well, it was just the idea of spreading the idea of entrepreneurial thinking, getting more people doing that and thinking about it, getting exposed to it.
The Hunter family, with their incredible generosity, came to the table because every student, whether they're in social work or they're in kinesiology or they're in arts, there's an entrepreneurial approach that they can take to adding value to their field. And so that's what the Hunter Hub is all about.
Various groups across campus in the different faculties were really, in essence, starting their own enterprises around innovation. And what we wanted to do, and what the Hunter family's gift really enabled us to do, is to say, okay, that's great, we need those individual bottom-up efforts going on, but let's have a way to coordinate those efforts across our campus to provide the best possible information, the best possible mentorship, rather than one-offs in the different faculties, but an umbrella-wide approach for our institution.
The Hunter Hub's at a really exciting place in its history. We have so many programs that are being curated by the Hunter Hub, in particular the Experience Ventures program, and the director of the Hunter Hub, Carrie Damon, has done this amazing job of creating opportunities for students, not only here at the University of Calgary, but at a number of other Canadian universities. And it's first of its kind in terms of exposing students to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial opportunities.
There's been an acceleration of innovation groups and programs across the university. A lot has been built, and the Hunter Hub's role is really to pull those groups together for key initiatives and build a culture across all the different faculties and groups in innovation. I think what will be most exciting in the Hunter Hub's next 5 years is the potential of having a physical space that's bringing together all the innovators across campus. What I'd like to see is some innovators, maybe they're in first year right now, get really actively involved in our ecosystem, potentially become entrepreneurs or innovators or work in the innovation economy, and have such a high opinion of what UCalgary has done for them and their career that they give back to that next generation of entrepreneurs and join us as mentors in our community. So I think creating a community that people are proud of and that they want to stay connected to and that they want to give back to the next generation of entrepreneurs.
The Hunter family has really enabled the University of Calgary to mobilize the incredible capacity and potential of our students, faculty, and staff in terms of creating new enterprises, thinking about ways of solving some of the world's most difficult problems. We are just so fortunate to have the leadership and the guidance from Diane, Doug, and Derek in both establishing the Hunter Hub, but also promoting it across the community.
Arguably, there has never been a better time to be a change maker and innovator at the University of Calgary. Recently, a U Ottawa research report found that the 2 top universities in Canada for entrepreneurship education and supports were U Calgary and the University of Toronto, which, for the record, is 3 times our size and almost 4 times our age. And it's truly due to this unique vision that's been created. Indeed, the Hunter Hub has created in its first 5 years multiple programs to foster, create, and support change makers from all disciplines. So we help at every level. For those who want to learn something, there are nationally recognized entrepreneurial thinking courses and events and programs across campus, many of which that we'll host in our new Collision space, including the innovative embedded certificate in entrepreneurial thinking. That's a minor program which brings together course options from across all of our faculties, enabling undergraduates from any discipline to try entrepreneurial thinking and build something. For those who want to try something, we have experiential learning opportunities via the Hunter Hub Solutions Lab, Experience Ventures National Hackathon, and others. For those who want to start something, we saw a few of them today. We have entrepreneurship programs such as Launchpad and Tenon ITC with workshops, mentor, and a small amount of funding and lots of prizes to support and grow those enterprises. It's been interesting watching the Launchpad's evolution over its first 3 years. We brought in the most diverse group to date in this last cohort. Not only do we have more than half of our 110 participants are undergrads, we also have alumni, faculty, postdocs, and PhDs. So it's incredibly broad, and we hit 12 out of 14 faculties. So we're almost there to get them all. For those of you that want to maybe grow something, I think this space, when we launched the Innovation Sandbox and we have room for startups to work together and use some of these beautiful facilities, the meeting rooms, the kitchen, the copy room, that will really bring together those collisions that will help them grow as well. So what began at U Calgary as an idea has now really grown to a national movement. From the summer of 2020 to deep in lockdown to the summer of 2021, the Hunter Hub envisioned, created, and launched the Government of Canada funded Experience Ventures program, first with 9 university partners providing 2,000 paid entrepreneurial placements in our first year. We supported students coast to coast from SFU in Vancouver to Memorial University in St. John's. This new innovative model set out to build a talent bridge from universities to their innovation communities, making it both easier for students to get access to work in a startup and making it easier for startups to access students. After a successful pilot year, thanks to my extremely hardworking team, the funding is now $12 million for 6,000 placements at 11 university partners. We're very close to signing the 12th. So we are super proud of our national impact. And with that, I would like to introduce President Macaulay. Dr. Ed Macaulay is President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Calgary.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, it's never a good idea to follow the winners of pitch competitions who have rehearsed minute after minute after minute after minute. So here's my impromptu speech. My family of 40,000 people at the University of Calgary are willing to turn the world's greatest challenges into opportunities to improve the world around us. And we will do that through our DNA of entrepreneurial thinking to move those ideas into society for the greater good. So that's it. That's what the University of Calgary wants to do. So my special welcome to the Hunter family, the Honorable Lois Mitchell, our Chancellor Emerita, Deborah Yelton, who's here, and also I think John Cornish is here, our current Chancellor. I don't know, John, if you can give us a wave. Hey, John. Welcome, and many other members of our Calgary community, our community partners. And again, the reason why University of Calgary can do that and meet those grand challenges is because of the support of the people who are here tonight. What a pleasure to welcome you to, obviously, to University of Calgary, along with our very own community of innovators and disruptors. Our remarkable students, faculty, and staff who are committed, and we're here for the official opening of the Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking. and welcome again to our campus. As you've seen, it's undergone quite a transformation. What was a two-story, very, I would say, bland building, older than the University of Calgary itself, well, now you can see for yourself what it has become. The Hunter Student Commons is rejuvenating and animating our main campus. And believe me, it has been packed with students since it opened last month. It's the heart of the University of Calgary itself. And so it is more than fitting that this is also the permanent home for the Hunter Hub. The Hunter Hub for entrepreneurial thinking. When it first opened, I wonder if anyone aside from the visionary Hunter family could foresee how entrepreneurialism would also be at the heart of the University of Calgary. How contagious it would be, how it could spread so quickly and enter our DNA as a University of Calgary family. Today, as Carrie mentioned, we have an innovation ecosystem unlike any university in Canada. And yes, we call ourselves Canada's most entrepreneurial university. Most universities have taglines and slogans, but no university creates more startups than we do. There are larger universities, there are older ones, yet none have the entrepreneurial spirit that you see here expressed tonight, as well as the products it creates. One that leaves this campus and enter the community because it is about impact, creating jobs and economic diversification and improving quality of life in Canada's most enterprising city. From quantum computing to low carbon energy breakthroughs to breakthroughs in healthcare, some of which we heard about tonight, we are doing great research that research universities and great research universities have always done. We are improving the world around us, making it more prosperous, fairer, healthier, and more sustainable. And we are doing so with the products of invention. Invention enabled and achieved through entrepreneurial thinking, whose genesis is found right here in the Hunter Hub. On your way here tonight, you may have seen banners saying, "We're a place to start something." 5 years ago, the Hunter family started something great and unleashed its potential to change something, to create something, to challenge and disrupt and upend something. And it's going to happen through this building, in collision spaces, which I hope you'll see a little bit later tonight, designed to spark new thinking. And while the physical space in which that will happen is new, the principle is not. It began with the creation of the Hunter Hub itself, and it helped us to become the youngest university to enter the prestigious top 5 research universities in Canada. Helped us transform transdisciplinary scholarship in unprecedented ways, and helped us to help Calgary diversify and grow its economy. I do not know, and we do not know, what the next thing will be that germinates here, but I know that something will. Just as the Hunter family knew that if we help entrepreneurial thinking sprout, it will grow and spread, and that's what the Hunter Hub has done. What's remarkable is that it's only just begun. Thank you for your vision and for your belief in the University of Calgary, Canada's entrepreneurial university, which you helped to define and create, to bring to life. And with that, let's honor further the Hunter family with a video tribute.
Entrepreneurial thinking is what the Hub is all about. When I graduated, and Diane graduated, I don't even think I'd heard the word entrepreneur. But my second job after graduating was with a small petroleum consulting firm here in Calgary. I was the 4th employee. And then with a small group like that, you soon learn to carry your own weight and to be productive. And that was the first exposure to entrepreneurship. Subsequent to that, we started my own company called H. Douglas Hunter and Associates.
Quite original.
Yeah, and the associates were Diane and the kids, and I was the sole employee. And that was truly entrepreneurial at the time.
The Hunter Hub is a place for creativity. It's a breeding ground so that people can come together, have different ideas, but rubbing shoulders with people who are creative and have different ideas and want to do something with it, I think just sparks your own creativity even more. I think this is who we are. This is what we've been through, where we've come from. And finding a way to help other people make that same track, make it work, that's what we wanted to do.
Well, it's a place for entrepreneurial thinking, spreading entrepreneurial thinking throughout the university. Entrepreneurs really are the backbone of the economy, and they are the ones that create jobs and build companies. You have to be able to take risks, step out and take that first step, and learn from your mistakes, get support.
And get up and try it again. If you decide to bite the bullet, it can pay back so much more than what you expect. It's wonderful being independent, being able to see your own ideas develop creatively and flourish and build and share among other people.
We're hopeful when a student graduates from U of C, they will all have had some form of indoctrination in entrepreneurial thinking. And I think if we can do that, that would be quite a success.
I'm really, really pleased. The possibilities injected into every faculty, because it's not just a business thought. It's an extension of creativity, and everybody can be creative.
Thanks, Doug, Derek, and all members of the Hunter family. Your spirit, your vision, your support are changing our university experience of all you Calgary students through the Hunter Hub and far beyond. We're also so proud to also name not just the Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking, but this entire building as the Hunter Student Commons in honor of your commitment to our university. Just right there for you. Now, I'm delighted to welcome Derek Hunter on behalf of the Hunter Family Foundation to join us on stage to talk about how their dream made all of this possible. Derek, as many of you know, is the president and CEO of Blue Sky Equities Limited, an investment management company with interests in real estate, energy, distilling, technology, and alternative strategies. Blue Sky is one of the most active angel investors in Southern Alberta, having invested in over 80 seed stage businesses since 2012. In 2019, Derek was named Canadian Angel Investor of the Year by the National Angel Capital Organization, as well as Technology Investor of the Year by Startup Alberta. He's also the founding member of the Creative Destruction Lab Rockies and an advisor to our very own USeed Venture Capital Fund and proud UCalgary graduate. On behalf, very proud. On behalf of the Hunter Family Foundation, please join me in welcoming Derek Hunter to the stage.
If I'd known there was going to be so many people, I would have written a few jokes. I'm going to try and get through these comments without using the word indoctrination. I probably wouldn't have gone there, but on behalf of my family, I'd like to welcome you all here today and thank you for coming to celebrate the opening of this new facility. Today's proceedings mark the culmination of many years of efforts, and in many ways, it completes one phase of a remarkable journey. You know, our family has been a resident in Southern Alberta for 6 generations now, and soon to be 3 generations of UCalgary alumni. And so we have a strong, I'm older than this university, so that's actually kind of remarkable. And, you know, we feel a strong attachment to this part of the world. One of my grandfathers was a postman, and the other was a cattle auctioneer. Neither had a higher education of any sort, and yet here we are celebrating a $40 million commitment to a university. So it's an incredible testament to the entrepreneurial opportunities here in Calgary. As Doug mentioned in the video, we really firmly believe that entrepreneurship is the best tool ever invented by mankind to create economic development opportunities. I sometimes say, you know, there's 13 million Canadians that work in the private sector, and every one of those jobs was the result of some entrepreneur identifying an opportunity, taking some calculated risk, and creating an enterprise. Because without entrepreneurs, there can be no prosperity. So our foundation was established in 1984, and it was pretty modest for a long time. We literally spent years trying to figure out how we were going to have an ongoing positive impact on our community. And the answer came in 2012. We were talking about it today. You know, the idea of introducing entrepreneurship instruction to the Haskayne School of Business, where it sort of dropped out somewhere along the line, and a bunch of people got brought together, a bunch of local entrepreneurs, and the debate raged whether you could teach it or you couldn't teach it. And, you know, we had the opportunity to become the naming sponsor of what became the Hunter Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the Haskayne School. And I can say that, you know, 10 years later, the school has instructed thousands of students in entrepreneurial thinking. It's still the only business school in Canada that has a mandatory course in entrepreneurial thinking. And it's, I think, firmly put to rest the question of whether or not you can teach entrepreneurial thinking. There's no question. I've met many, many students over the years. I always ask them what their experience was like, and it's clear to me that this program changes lives. So what do we mean? We don't call it entrepreneurship. What do we mean by entrepreneurial thinking? Well, entrepreneurial thinking, as we see it, is really about teaching people to see new opportunities where others only see risk, about developing a resilient mindset that allows you to solve problems while accepting you've got incomplete information, and having the courage to act and advocate for these ideas. This latest phase represents the culmination of an effort which began in 2016 when Ed's predecessor, Elizabeth Cannon, had recognized that there was a strong demand for what we'd pioneered at Haskayne. There was a lot of demand in other faculties for that kind of thing. And, you know, we were sold on the opportunity to spread it campus-wide, and also a little bit concerned that if all the other faculties tried to build what we had built at Haskayne, that they would be competing with each other for resources, mentorship, prize money, et cetera. And so we envisioned an opportunity to create a central hub which would encourage cross-collaboration among faculties, as well as strong community connections with the local business community and more entrepreneurial instruction. And so we really bought into the tagline of rebranding UCalgary as Canada's most entrepreneurial university. And I'm delighted to report, as Kerry alluded to, that multiple sources of independent data indicate that we're well on our way by the number of startups produced, the number of courses offered, the level of support offered, and the fact that UCalgary is the only Canadian university where it's possible to do a specialization in entrepreneurial thinking regardless of what faculty you're enrolled in. So why does this matter? Well, for a start, the pace of disruption in the world is not getting any slower. And in this era, all net new jobs are created by startup companies. So even if our students don't start a business themselves, they're likely to change jobs multiple times over the course of their careers. And we've learned that employers love hiring our students that demonstrate entrepreneurial thinking. In addition, high-growth companies overwhelmingly tend to be technology-enabled, and universities tend to be home to lots of whiz-bang technologies. And so, indeed, when you examine technology ecosystems around the world, from Silicon Valley to Boston to Waterloo, inevitably there is a research university at the heart of it. And to build the diverse future economy of the city of Calgary, one where the energy industry is one of many important contributors, requires that our local research university, which, as Ed acknowledged, is now in the top 5 in Canada, plays a central role. This place is filled with innovators. They just need a little support turning their ideas into successes. In my day job as CEO of Blue Sky, as Ed said, we're one of the most active seed investors in Canada. We've actually invested in 93 technology companies, Ed, but we're out of distilling, sadly, actually. So that was everybody's favorite. But of the 93 that we've invested in the last 10 years, more than half of them are in Alberta. And those of us that are close to it see all the evolution and all the impressive gains that have been made over the last years. The companies like Benevity and Solium and Cement and Nanobotics and Neo are growing rapidly and hiring like crazy, and there's a lot more coming. It's actually a bit of a source of frustration to me that so many Calgarians are unaware of how much progress has been made in building the ecosystem here over the last 7 to 10 years. And the folks at Zinc Ventures, led by Brad Zumwalt, keep track. And by their measure, we've got nearly 1,000 technology companies in Calgary and growing at about 25% a year. So we're not at square one, folks. We're at square 5 or 10 or something, but we're definitely out of the blocks. And the goal, which is pushed by the folks at Platform Calgary, is to reach over 45,000 tech jobs in Calgary by 2031. But this only happens if you have a lot of startups filling the top of the funnel, because sometimes companies fail and sometimes they don't grow. So the Hunter Hub is meant to be a large contributor to the top of that funnel so that we meet these objectives. Now, I've talked a lot about technology companies and the tech community, and generally we often join technology and innovation and entrepreneurship together as if there's only one kind of entrepreneur. But we want to be clear that the Hunter Hub is actually intended for students in all faculties. Innovation itself, the word refers to the introduction of ideas that result in new or improved goods or services, which can apply to everything, everywhere. Our hope is that over time, lots of students in all of the 14 faculties will avail themselves of the unique chance to complete a specialization in entrepreneurial thinking, because it will help them expand their range of tools and their personal toolbox of skills. And a big toolbox means more options and more opportunities for the individuals. We envision the Hunter Hub becoming a central pillar of Calgary's ecosystem for years to come. Our goals are to build a more entrepreneurial culture on campus, to provide entrepreneurial experiences to our students, and to forge a stronger connection between the university and the local business community in order to drive more economic development through connection and innovation. So again, thank you for coming and joining us today. This has been a long time in the making, and we're just delighted to have you all here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Derek, for all your support and your family's generous gift. You impact thousands of students and startups, not just here, but across Canada. So innovation happens within and across communities. Tonight, you will find many of our friends at innovation groups across the university. Alongside the growth of the Hunter Hub, there are many exceptional innovation groups supporting innovators across campus, from W21C and the O'Brien Institute to Innovate Calgary, which is rapidly growing with new hubs, to Impact, to CDL Rockies, as well as new innovation spaces such as the Maker Multiplex in Schulich and the Social Innovation Hub that's currently being built. We also have great leaders and champions from across Canada and the world that are supporting our community. The Council for Innovation and Entrepreneurial Leadership supports UCalgary's innovation community, and we brought them to Calgary in person live to meet many of our innovators and tour our community and be with us here tonight for this celebration. We are very grateful for your support and for your support of our innovators. As we look to the future, the Hunter Hub team is totally excited to welcome students, faculty, staff, and the community members into our new space and to be able to finally get to know them in a way that we were not able to during COVID. The energy of our first events has been incredible, and we are all kind of rejuvenized with the energy and potential of bringing people together in groups. In terms of our strategy for the future, we will continue to aggressively position the Hunter Hub as a new kind of innovation center nationally, one that builds culture and connecting across our own university and across other universities, one that is sector agnostic, and as Derek said, works with all kinds of entrepreneurs, serving the creation of all kinds of enterprises that contribute to Canada's prosperity, utilizing new and experimental co-curricular and curricular programming options. So there'll be lots more to come in the future. Fueled by research excellence, philanthropic leadership, and community partnerships, the Hunter Hub will continue to be a driving force in UCalgary's vision to be the most entrepreneurial university in Canada. This concludes our formal program. However, that's not the end of the conversation. I hope you'll stay to mingle and meet some of our innovators and our community leaders. Please take a tour around the space. In particular, I'd love for you to check out the mural that we built in the kitchen. For those of you who were part of our original opening and our interim space, you might recognize that wall. It was built for our original launch, and it was much loved. It's the black chalkboard that appears on a lot of the videos. We're looking to get Polaroids and new entrepreneurial thinking words, so find a member of our team, and we'll put you up on our new wall. It was only fitting that we would have this original inspiring mural designed for the opening of our original space for our new reimagined space here. Additionally, there is more to this amazing building than just this amazing floor. If you're interested in participating in a tour of the building, we have our Associate Vice President of Facilities, Boris Dragifovic, I know I'd get it wrong, Dragifovic, will be taking guests at 7:15, and you can meet him by the elevators if you want to see. The other floors have some really amazing classroom space, registrar's office, some innovative classrooms for social work, and lots of wonderful features. Thank you again for joining us tonight. To my team, our students, our startups, our community, and our partners, thank you for your ideas. Thank you for your engagement, hard work, and support these first 5 years. We look forward to the next 5 years. On behalf of the Hunter Hub team, we look forward to continuing to build UCalgary ingenuity together. Thank you very much.